On the night of June 14, 1961, a passenger train left the Italian city of Rome, bound for Milan. It carried 57 passengers, 3 crew members, and a cargo of ordinary goods. The weather was clear, the tracks inspected, and every signal green. At precisely 11:45 p.m., the train departed the station. It was scheduled to arrive in Milan by dawn. It never did. The Midnight Express, as newspapers would later call it, simply vanished. No wreckage, no bodies, no trace of steel on the tracks. For decades, the case remained unsolved, wrapped in whispers, rumors, and fragments of evidence that only made the mystery darker. What follows is the most complete reconstruction of what might have happened, pieced together from eyewitness testimony, secret reports, and the few items recovered from the rails. According to ticket records, there were students, businessmen, a family traveling to visit relatives, and 2 foreign tourists on board. The conductor, Carlo Bianchi, was a 34-year-old railway veteran. The engineer, Vittorio Rinaldi, was known for his meticulousness, a man who carried a pocket watch and checked it against the station clock every time before departure. The departure logs confirm the train left Rome on time. Witnesses at small villages north of the city reported seeing it pass. A shepherd near Orte remembered the glow of its lights cutting through the night like a glowing serpent. Yet after that, the testimonies fracture. At some point between 1:10 a.m. and 1:30 a.m., near the rural stretches of Umbria, the train seemed to vanish. No one saw it arrive at the next scheduled station. No signal was received. By morning, station masters were raising alarms. Italian police launched a massive search. Helicopters scanned the tracks. Soldiers were deployed to inspect tunnels, ravines, and river crossings. No derailment was found. The tracks were intact, unbroken, and showed no signs of collision. Then came the stranger details. In a field near Terni, locals found an abandoned suitcase. Inside were clothes neatly folded and a train ticket for June 14, stamped Rome to Milan. The owner was never identified. A farmer claimed he heard a roaring metallic thunder pass his land, but when he looked out, the rails were empty. He swore he heard screams carried on the wind. Near the Apennine tunnels, searchers found a patch of scorched earth by the tracks, as if lightning had struck, though the skies had been clear. By late June, rumors were spiraling. Newspapers speculated wildly: a Soviet plot, alien abduction, or some kind of secret government test. Italian state railways released a brief statement. Train 714 has been lost due to an unspecified malfunction. Investigations continue. Families of passengers will be contacted. But behind the scenes, documents now declassified reveal another truth. Railway inspectors discovered anomalies in the trackside equipment. Telegraph lines around Narni carried bursts of static at the time of the disappearance. A nearby power station reported a surge that fried its instruments. Even stranger, 2 track workers swore they saw the train enter a mountain tunnel at 1:23 a.m. It never came out. Teams scoured that tunnel, finding nothing but bare stone. In July 1961, 2 months after the event, a man was admitted to a psychiatric hospital in Rome. He was disoriented, covered in dust, and clutching a torn train ticket. His name was Giorgio Mancini, a passenger listed on the missing train. Doctors recorded his ravings. The lights went out. The windows showed nothing but white. We weren't moving, yet we were falling, forever. Mancini died 3 days later of unexplained cardiac arrest. His body decayed at a rate doctors described as unnatural. The ticket he carried disintegrated into powder within hours of his death. Another alleged survivor surfaced in 1975, a woman found wandering near Milan station, barefoot and confused. She carried a handbag with lira notes dated 1961, crisp and new. When questioned, she insisted she had only just stepped off the train. She vanished from the hospital before further questioning. By the 1980s, the Midnight Express had become folklore. Conspiracy theorists suggested it slipped into a time rift, swallowed by a fold in reality. Some said the train was seen decades later in Mexico, of all places. Locals near Pachuca claimed a European train appeared briefly on abandoned rails before vanishing again into thin air. The most chilling detail comes from security footage in 1995 at the Milan station. At 3:12 a.m., a dark, grainy camera captured what appeared to be a train arriving on a closed platform. No passengers exited. The lights flickered inside, and after 22 seconds, the train dissolved into static on the tape. Technicians ruled it a glitch, but railway workers who viewed it swore they heard faint screaming layered under the white noise. Researchers today speak of phantom trains, echoes of tragedies that replay in endless loops. But the Midnight Express is different. It wasn't a ghost of the past, it was a moment swallowed whole. Some physicists speculate that the surge reported by the power station could indicate a rare atmospheric anomaly, a rift in space-time. If so, the train and its passengers may still be traveling endlessly in a tunnel that no longer exists. Others whisper darker theories, that the passengers became fuel for whatever phenomenon devoured the train, their energy sustaining a fracture between worlds. To this day, railway workers in Umbria say that if you walk the line near Narni on the anniversary of June 14, you might hear it, the distant rumble of steel wheels, a horn echoing across empty valleys, and sometimes a knock from inside the sealed mountain tunnel. They say if you put your ear to the stone, you can hear voices, 57 of them, pleading, screaming, asking for a way out. And if you stay too long, you'll hear another sound, a voice whispering your name. That's the story of the vanished Midnight Express of 1961, a tale that remains unsolved, buried in half-truths and shadows, where the line between history and nightmare blurs.